Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Here we are, morning.
Good morning, and here we are in June, and I see that that's part of the title of today's show.
It is. But before we get into that, I'm in peak marathon training season.
Oh boy!
I know. So I'm actually running again.
Yeah, well,
I've been putzing away, but I now actually I'm getting into that training plan.
Well, you are committed. I mean, not as of late. I haven't
be
seen.
committed.
Well, no, you. Yeah, I mean, but when you get to running, I mean, then
We're going.
You do it like every day. You do it a lot.
Yeah, as I've aged, it's 3 or 4 a week.
Okay.
Is the most I'll do because every day it just hurts.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I'm training for the Marine Corps Marathon in October. So, not that anybody that's listening really cares, but it's a good time to get out and train. I mean, the weather's been decent. It's been a little bit warm.
Right.
But, you're hitting that 70s. It's comfortable. It's a good time to do it. So I'm heating up on my marathon training, and the real estate market is heating up.
Yeah.
Right? It's that time of year.
It is.
So when we talk about the market in general, peak selling season is these months of June, July, August, and maybe even into September.
Okay.
So why is that? Well, for buyers, many of them want to move in the summertime.
Yeah.
Right?
Kids are
out of school. They want to move so that the kids can start school in their new district or their new location, wherever that happens to be. They also want to give the kids some time to acclimate in the summer, so you're not just moving in, being the new day kid walks in, first day of school.
Yeah.
And they don't know anybody.
Yeah,
so
that's
they want
not
to
fun.
That is not fun.
Yeah.
I would feel for kids that
Sure.
have to deal with that. I mean,
yeah.
I was in the military, but fortunately my kids, we didn't have to move around, but military families experience it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just happens. They move, guess what? You're plopped into the middle of a new situation. So as parents, we try to control that. So buyers, you're going to have some more competition because there are more buyers out there at this time of year. But the good news is there's typically more houses on the market because sellers know the same thing.
Right.
Sellers know that, hey, there's going to be more buyers out there. They're moving for the same reason. They are moving because they want to get somewhere to have their kids into school and all of those things.
Right.
So, if you're going to buy this summer, it's starting now. So June is starting. You need to be prepared. You need to have that pre-approval so you're ready to go. And other than that, buyers, it is a good time to get out there and begin the process. Get that pre-approval. Go out and look at homes. After, with part of the show today, we're going to talk about statistics.
Okay.
But this first half, I do want to focus on buyers and sellers. So buyers, good time. Sellers, there's more competition this time of year.
Okay.
As we've talked about for the last couple of years, there was not much inventory out there at all. Last week when we talked, there were 185 listings on the market in Kosciusko County.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it hasn't been like that for a long time.
It hasn't been that for a long time. We've started to see some price reductions on homes that were listed, and they're starting to reduce their prices.
Okay.
Right? Because sellers know this is the active time. If I'm going to sell, I need to get in the right ballpark for those buyers to come in and do that.
Right.
So, seeing homes sit maybe on the market a little longer before they adjust price. So for buyers, the good news is you have more options.
Right.
You have more options. Gone are the days where there's one property on the market and there's 15 or 20 buyers jumping in to look at that.
Yeah.
So you've got a little bit more time, but there are still homes that are selling pretty quickly. I actually had a buyer. I went out. We looked at a house. It was listed on Friday. We wrote an offer on Tuesday and had it accepted on Wednesday.
Wow.
I mean, it was that boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And my buyer was concerned, so they know, hey, I want to be the first one in. I want to get my offer accepted before somebody else jumps in there.
Right.
Because they're a first-time home buyer. I mean, they were out there. They're anxious about the process, which working with an agent, part of my job is to tell them to simmer down now.
Yeah.
We've done this more than once.
Right.
Advise them on the negotiation standpoint. What do we think we can do? And ultimately, what has to happen? Everybody has to be happy. Buyer and seller have to agree.
Sure.
Buyer and seller have to agree. So buyers, now's your time to get out there. Interest rates have pulled back. This buyer actually has a very good rate. It's below 7.
Wow.
Which I have not seen in a long time because
No.
rates were creeping up.
Right.
They were back to that 7 1/8, 7 1/4, and it felt like the market had just constricted and nothing was going on.
Yeah.
But apparently, as we'll talk about it later in the show, there's still plenty out there buying, and I think there's a lot of cash buyers in the market. So for buyers, still a decent time to get out there and do it. For sellers, yes, there's going to be more competition, but ultimately, if you price it right, work with your agent on pricing it right, you're going to get activity on that home. If you're not getting showings, it's due to price, because now there's options for that buyer to look at.
Right.
You've got more to compete against. And quite honestly, from an agent standpoint, it's better to have more competition because you can compare. It's not just gut feel, not just windage, not let's just throw it against the wall and see if it sticks, which I'm not saying that's how we did it. There was a lot of experience and feel and how you would price stuff, but I'm a numbers guy. I like the numbers to be able to say, okay, here's what we've got, but if you only have 1 or 2 to look at, instead of 5 or 6 to look at, it's harder to price a home. So, and after the break, we'll talk about statistics and that little stuff I was teasing about what's going on in the market.
All right, very good. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski at RE/MAX Lakes, and we're talking about summertime, buying and selling in June, and I know you're going to get to some stats.
Statistics, our favorite show.
Yeah. You know what? a lot of people do tune in, when
to get those stats.
Right, when we get the monthly data report.
Yeah. So this is through the end of May. The statistics we're talking about are through the end of May.
Okay.
And I think last week I had misspoke. I thought we had gone through April. I looked back. The latest we had reported on was the end of March. And things were not good at the end of March.
Okay.
Things were down. April, they started to pick up. But May, we're actually at 17% above in the number of units sold year over year.
Okay.
And when we were at the end of March, it was down 14%. So that says April and May picked up.
Yeah.
Things picked up. So through the end of May, this is for the county, overall increase of 17%, number of units sold between 23 and 24.
Wow. Yeah.
The volume sold up 14%, so home prices still a little bit higher. However, the average sales price is down 2%. The median sale price is down 2%.
Okay.
So sold more units, but 2% lower price than the prior year.
And I'm just thinking the interest rates.
Some of it's interest rates. Of that 17%, which equates to 54 additional homes sold this year in that time frame versus last year, 20 of them were in the Syracuse zip code.
Lakes.
The Syracuse zip code is typically lakes. Not that there isn't other stuff.
Right.
The folks that live in town that aren't on the lake going, hey, what about us?
Yeah, right.
You're right,
Yeah.
but that zip code, typically the prices are higher because you can get 1 or 2 really big sales that skew the numbers.
Right.
So while that's a great number, that 17% in number of units sold year over year, almost half of it was in one zip code. So overall for the county, we've increased, but not at the 17% level. And I mean, I'd have to pull Syracuse out and do it to try to skew it. Being the number cruncher I am, I probably will.
Yeah.
But the bottom line, it's better than what we were at the end of March. April and May, things picked up a little bit. There was a decrease in interest rates in April. They popped back up again near the end of April. Beginning of May, they were up there. As we were talking a little bit off air, one of the clients that I have this week, below 7%. You know, I saw a rate below 7%.
Wow.
So I hope that continues.
Right.
Especially in this peak selling season.
Yeah.
Because that means that the regular folks, the folks that are not lake buyers, when I say regular folks, non-lake buyers, they're going to have a shot. They're going to have a better opportunity.
Yeah.
But the key indicator out of here is the average sales price is down 2% year over year. So sellers beware, you need to price appropriately. You
No,
need to
it's-
price, where you need to be
Well,
in the market.
Yeah, the market's not moving as fast as what it was, and
Correct.
it's more competitive now.
Correct. It's more competitive. So then breaking it down by zip code, and we always use that 3-bedroom because so in the county, there were 381 homes sold. 205 of them were 3-bedroom houses. So
Okay.
a majority of the homes sold are 3 bedrooms. That's why we always use that. So in the county, the average sales price was $290. Now this takes the entire county.
Okay.
The median sales price is $230,000.
Okay.
The average list to price or list to sale ratio 2% off a list price. Okay, so no longer are we 103%.
Right.
Selling for 3% above. We're 2% off. That's on average. Days on market, 41 days on market.
That's still
41 days. Still good.
Yeah, still good.
But it's way up from COVID. So the Warsaw zip code, 46580. Average sales price, $250. The median sales price, $230. The list to sale ratio, 98.78. So 1% off a list price, 41 days on the market.
Yeah.
41 days on the market. 46582, which is north of 30 in the Warsaw zip code. Average sales price, $257. The list of sale, 99.19%.
Wow.
So still 1% off.
Yeah.
Sold in 22 days.
Wow, that's
so
quick.
what's that tell you? When they're priced right,
Yeah.
they sell fast.
Yeah, they sell
Right?
fast.
So the Warsaw market, if you compare 46580,
Yeah.
2% off roughly, or 1.5% off.
Yeah.
The other one, less than 1% off in half the amount of
Yeah.
time.
Half the amount.
So 46567, 3-bedroom homes, average sales price $479, list to sale 98.32, average days on market 33 days. So those lake homes, and that really skews that number up when you talk about that.
Yeah, it does.
But in general, and these are only the 3-bedrooms. So I combined Webster and Pearston as far as the zip codes go. Average sales price $227, median $202. The list to sale 97.65. So Lake Homes 46555 and 46562 is the Barbie chain and Webster Lake in North Webster in general. Average days on market 56. So if they're priced right, they sell faster. Notice we're not 2.5%, almost 3% off, 56 days on market.
Right.
So if you're a buyer, be aware of that. We're still not 10% off a list price.
No.
We're still
And
2%
we won't be. I don't think we
plus
will
or
be.
minus.
Right.
And for sellers, price it right and you'll get it sold.
All right, great information. We got to wrap up, but if you want to continue this conversation, reach out to Mark. Your contact info.
Sure. Phone numbers 574-527-0660. Website skabowskiteam.com.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mark. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.